Hello, everyone. Welcome back to a very long overdue episode of Down on the Sidelines here on the home sideline at Lakeland University. Your boy Matt Crowley, aka Matty Icy, on with the glasses.
Very nice. I appreciate the glasses wearer people because everybody who wears glasses, we kind of got like our own type of community
Well,
where we
yeah. Well,
can.
I also
Right,
have my contacts here, so it's like I wear
I'm a contacts
contacts.
guy. Used to be a contacts guy until probably seventh or eighth grade, and then I was just like, nope, done with it. My eyes are too dry and everything. But here on the away sideline here in Stevens Point, Wisconsin, here at UWSP, you got your boy. I'm not sure what that is.
it's for my
What is that?
it's for my mixer, for my
Oh,
the
for like your
auto.
shakes.
Yeah, I turn it on and it stirs it for
Okay.
itself. Courtesy of Hunter
Well,
Crawley, my cousin.
shout out to Hunter.
Yes, sir.
Um, we got your boy Brendan Retzloff, aka Brett Stock Golfin. Whew. What a recent week this was. I
Even a
know.
crazy day for coaching. But yeah, anyways, I think I'll explain the long overdue episode. So we
Well,
recorded,
yeah,
yeah.
if you want to talk
So
about this story,
so we recorded a episode last week doing our game picks, going into other recent news of the NFL. And halfway through our recording, my laptop has crashed. I'm the one who uploads it. I'm the one who does all the descriptions, all that does the YouTube. Brenden does the editing, so we kind of just split it up. Kind of works out perfectly.
about the editing stuff, I've been lacking on that recently. I asked Cody King's Customs for, I mean, the videos and pictures that he
Mm-hmm.
has, but he's like, nah, you can just like go on my Instagram and TikTok and just take those videos and put them in there. I did get all the edits done from the King's Customs video. I have so many of them. So I think what my plan is going to be, drop a few of those per day and then hop on to a different video to edit. So maybe one from this time because relevance is key
Yeah,
to posting media. So I'm gonna post the most relevant stuff that we have. So once we get this episode done, I'll probably just download it right away and start editing instantly.
yeah. So, anyways, about that. So halfway through our episode, my laptop decided to crash. So it stopped the recording, and we kind of picked up where we left off, roughly. And then I had troubles combining the two videos together, and we just didn't upload at all. So apologies for that, but obviously this is a very long overdue episode. Fingers crossed that my laptop doesn't crash again because that would be god
Yeah,
awful.
your 2006 Dell laptop,
Yeah,
right?
I already know what year it is. I got it when I graduated high school. But anyways, I think yeah. I mean, we'll kind of go over what I guess we'll do our rankings. I mean,
We could recap what our rankings were going
yeah.
into.
So obviously, I gotta. Well, my jeez, mine are really bad.
Dude, you got yours like straight up wrong.
Yeah. Um. So
Like
at
our last
four,
episode,
at four I had the
what
Eagles, three I had the Chiefs, two I had the Niners, and one I had the Bengals. And then you had Chiefs at four, Bengals at three, Niners at two, and Eagles at one.
and I said the top three were very interchangeable
Yeah.
for me, but
And then obviously for our picks, I had the Niners winning 28-3, you had the Eagles winning 31-28, and then we both had Cincinnati winning. I had 30-27 and you had 31-17. So that was kind of like I don't know, but basically the big things, but we won't go into depth and we'll
from
go
the
over
last
that.
episode,
Yeah, Pro Bowl
we
week.
got in a pretty heated argument over the Eagles and 49ers
Yeah, it's a
in
different
our
game. It's a
fake
different
episode.
game. It's a different game. We'll
Yeah.
go over that.
Yep.
But yeah, championship game recap. I mean, what a week for football. I mean, two teams remain. Obviously, the Kansas City Chiefs and the Philadelphia Eagles. I wish there was just some way that both teams don't win it. But
I think about 98% of America is in that boat. I know who I want to win the game.
same here.
Um, because I mean, we're gonna talk about the AFC Championship game.
Mm-hmm.
That game was a bunch of bull crap.
Yes,
Say
indeed.
that, put
Yes,
that one
indeed.
nicely.
It's a bunch of bull crap indeed. But I think without further ado, I think we'll get right into it. Oh gosh. Okay, we're good.
Oh
My
gosh, what?
my
Your
computer,
2006 Dell?
yeah, my computer really likes to be slow, so it's like
He does not have a 2006 Dell laptop, by
I
the way.
don't,
It's
but
gonna be more like 2020
something
Pete's
like
meat.
that.
Is it even
Anyways,
Dell?
it is Dell. It is Dell. You're
Oh,
right
it
about
is.
that. So
I just threw out a guess, man.
yeah, so I guess let's get on with it. The
Let's go.
AFC Championship game. Your Cincinnati Bengals take on the Kansas City Chiefs. Kansas City pulls out 23-20. Your Cincinnati Bengals are eliminated from the game. I guess if you want to take over on your team's sidelines, you go right ahead for it.
All right, I'm just getting this game pulled up here on my computer. Um, but my gosh, this was so disappointing to me. For my Bengals. Joe Burrow, he went 26 for 41, 270 yards, touchdown, two interceptions. Joe Burrow actually led the team in rushing as well. That's news to me. Four carries for 30 yards. And then Samaje Perine, he had five carries for 22 yards and a touchdown. And then leading the team in receiving was T. Higgins, actually. He had six receptions for 83 yards and a touchdown, followed by Jamar Chase with six for 75. Um, Otherwise, the Bengals offense is just very quiet in this one, especially in the first half.
Mm-hmm.
On the defensive side, Von Bell and Logan Wilson and Eli Apple all led the team with five tackles. Cameron Sample had a sack in this one. So did Sam Hubbard. And that's it from the defense of the Bengals, who I thought they played outstanding for only giving up 23 points, but a lot of people are like, because of all these Chiefs injuries, that they did not play great.
Yeah.
I would say otherwise though. And then for kicking, Evan McPherson, he went two for two.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I was watching this game. I was rooting for Cincinnati. They were down. They were down 13-3 at half. They came back and they were able to tie it.
I think it was 13-3 at one point, but I think it was 13-6 at half,
Oh yeah, it was. I'm looking
if
at
I can
it.
remember.
Yep, 13-6 at half. I mean, running game was non-existent. T. Higgins had a beautiful moss. He got mossed. He mossed up someone. So
Jamar Chase had a huge catch on a fourth down
he
play.
did. That was a huge catch.
And we'll
Those
talk
LS
about more of
those
these
LSU
plays.
those LSU players, wide receivers are built differently.
That LSU 2019-2020 team,
Insane.
just, I mean, unstoppable. I think they are arguably one of the best college football teams of all time.
Yeah. Yeah, so I guess with that, I mean, if you have anything to say about your Bengals, I mean, Eli Apple is typical Eli Apple. I guess the big story would be Joseph Osei.
Osai, I don't
Osai.
know. Like, people are blaming him so much. And
He was
I
in
was sending
tears on the sideline.
I was sending a lot of people texts during this game. Mainly Ben, because we're both like big
Mm-hmm.
Bengals guys now. And I mean, it's just the fact that we went to Cincinnati for the first week of the season. We got to watch them play. So we're like, okay, this team's pretty special, even though they lost that game. But the way they went down in this game was so unfair. I mean, yes, it was a roughing play when he when Mahomes was going out of bounds, but everyone's like, okay, he had 2 feet out of bounds. Actually, he only had one.
He had
He
one.
only
It
had
was like
1 foot
half.
out. The other
It was
foot was
like
about
half
to
and
go out.
half. It was like half
Yes.
foot was in and the other half was out.
And what's really stupid about that roughing rule is you can see players tiptoe down the sidelines almost all the time, including quarterbacks, because Mahomes, he's going to fight for every freaking yard that he needs to
I
get.
also think that
And
if it was any other quarterback, like it was Kirk Cousins or like Justin Herbert, I don't think they throw it. But I think since it was Mahomes, they threw it.
the league and the officiating in this game, I'm going to talk about later. It was rough.
It was.
It
This
was
was a horrible game for
this
officiating.
this officiating might have been about as bad, if not worse, than the 2021 or no, the 2019 NFC Championship game
Was that
between the Saints and the Rams,
that was 2018?
the pass interference.
Yeah,
And that was only one call. This game,
had
there's so many
multiple.
different calls, which we'll go over in a bit.
Yeah,
I, I'll stop my ranting for now. I'll continue it later. I'll let you talk about the
yeah,
winning team.
yeah. Kansas City, and one leg Patty Mahomes, 29 for 43, 326 yards and 2 touchdowns. Isaiah Pacheco led the team in rushing, 10 carries, 26 yards. Then for receiving, Marquez Valdez Scantling, 6 receptions, 116 yards and a touchdown. And Travis Kelce, 7 receptions, 78 yards and a touchdown. On defense, Justin Reed led the teams in tackles of 7. Jalen Watson had an interception. Joshua Williams had an interception. Chris Jones had 2 sacks. Frank Clark a sack and a half. George Karlaftis had a sack as well. And Willie Gay Jr. had a half a sack. And Harrison Buckner went 3 for 3, where longest one was 45 yards.
You have to give so much credit to the Kansas City defense in this game.
I know who Chris Jones is now, so
Oh
that's a
yeah,
good thing.
in our last episode, we were talking about Chris Jones and we're
Oh
like,
yeah,
okay, who the frick's this
we were
guy?
talking about the because candidates
The
for
defensive player of the year.
defensive player of the year. It was him, Bosa, and Parsons. And we are like, who's Chris Jones? I've never heard of this guy. Well, I definitely know who he is now.
I thought he had 3 sacks in the game.
He had
That
2.
from what I heard, he had 3, but maybe he did have 2. He played a heck of a game, and I believe that he was the difference maker
I think
in this
so
one.
too.
Everyone's like, "Oh, Patrick Mahomes and this ankle injury." Like they're calling this the ankle game. At
Nah,
least
Mahomes
ESPN
was.
is. I'm like,
See,
okay, he seemed fine to
The
me.
NFL is a bunch of Patrick Mahomes fanboys because he's like the Tom Brady of this new generation. Like this is his third Super Bowl in
I'd
4
agree with
years.
you. There's already a bunch of people in media saying that he's greater than Tom Brady. He's only got 1 Super Bowl ring. Calm down.
He's 1-2 in Super Bowls, and yeah, this is his third Super Bowl
Or
trip in
one
the
and one.
last. Yeah, he's 1-1. This is his third Super Bowl trip in 4 years. So
They need to calm down.
they
He's
really
not
do.
even there yet. Like
Once
it
he,
takes so
if
many
he,
wins in the playoffs to get there.
if he had won the one against Tampa, and now he's here, then I might be okay. Like I can legitimately see it, but we don't know how he's gonna do against the Eagles. Who knows? He could go 1-4 in the Super Bowl.
He's already like 27 years old. Did
Yeah,
you know that?
he's 27, which is
I'm not gonna say
insane.
father time is gonna catch him quick, but if he keeps re-aggravating his injuries
Mm-hmm.
like he claims he does, then father time might catch him pretty quick.
Yeah, but I
Anything you
think
got to add about this one, or for the Chiefs?
no, not really. I mean, Jackson Mahomes and Brittany Mahomes are on their bull crap again. So
Saw that.
I'm not looking. That's why I don't want neither teams to win.
Did you see? I think it was her story or something. They're
that
on
was
the sideline at the
Mahomes'
end of the
dad.
game,
Oh no, I
or
didn't
yeah,
see that.
they're on the sideline at like the end of the game or the field at the end of the game, and Jackson Mahomes was like recording right next to like Brittany, and like I mean his parents too. Patrick didn't even look at Jackson. It was
Really?
it was like, okay, brother, I'm not gonna talk to you. I'm never gonna look at you ever
I think
because
he just
you've
owns
kind of ruined
Jackson.
my look.
Yeah, because everyone thinks about Patrick Mahomes like, oh, Jackson and Brittany like the big troublemakers. So
Mahomes, or okay, Patrick's the only reason that they are like faces, you know,
basically, Jackson is using his brother's fame to him for
his
him.
clout. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
trying to steal the thunder.
And obviously, we all know what happened last year when he danced on top of the Sean Payton Memorial.
I forgot about that.
I saw that on TikTok
No.
because if for some reason he popped up on my For You page, I'm just like, there's no way he's doing that. Because I remember I watched that Washington and Chiefs game. And I saw that on TikTok because I was actually at Buffalo Wild Wings because I think the Seahawks were playing on Sunday Night Football, and one of my friends is a huge Seattle fan, and the three of us went out, and I was just like, "There's no way he actually did that," and you should have seen the comments just lighting him up, like it's like you're
It'll
privileged.
happen when you do that.
It's like you're
When you
privileged,
dance
like
on
you don't
Sean Taylor like
understand,
that.
like it's Sean Taylor, like how could you do something like this? Like you're only using Patrick's fame for your clout chasing, yada yada yada. So
Yuppers. I think you might have said Sean Payton when the first time, but I mean, we're gonna talk about him later,
It's
obviously.
Sean Taylor.
Yeah, but we're gonna talk about Sean Payton later.
Yes, that's what I was looking
Anyways,
at that.
dude, this show is gonna be
I
packed.
know we gotta get because I have an hour till class.
Let's
So,
go.
all right. Key plays and important moments during this Chiefs game and Bengals. Obviously, I think one of the big ones for Cincinnati was, honestly, that fourth down
The
conversion,
Chase catch.
the
Yep.
Jamar Chase catch in double coverage, T Higgins in double coverage, bossing up for a touchdown.
Yep.
I'm trying to think of some other ones. Those are two big ones that I really know.
Okay, it looked like the Bengals were gonna get their running game going early in this one, and then they just abandoned the run game.
Yeah,
And then it seemed like they were throwing the ball on almost every single play in the second half.
yeah, it really did look like that. For the Chiefs, I mean, Osai is that roughing the or unnecessary roughness BS. Um,
Also aggravated his knee when that happened too.
oh, I was beyond. I was like, they're gonna throw a flag, and sure enough, there's flags
That
going
flag
off.
looked like it was so late on TV.
It really did.
I mean, like after both players fell to the ground or whatever, you see the flag go flying onto the screen like maybe 2 or 3 seconds after it happened.
Oh, and don't
And
let's not talk about Osai's knee during that. His leg was like
it
hyperextended.
was bad.
Yeah, I was like, ah. They showed the replay, and I was with my fraternity brothers, and we were all watching this, and we all went, ah. It was so bad. But yeah, I think that was it's Mahomes, so they're gonna call it for him. Kind of like
And
how roughing the passer of Tom Brady.
don't forget on that play, I thought there was a holding
Oh my
penalty.
gosh, there should have been two different holding penalties on the Chiefs' offensive line. One on Hubbard and one on
Mainly the Hendrickson one. For me,
Hendrickson.
it's mainly the Hendrickson one.
They
The one on Hubbard wasn't like
It was actually there was
egregious.
someone that had looked up the rule book and said that like what they did, he tried to do like a rip move, so like he gets lower and then like it forces like the offensive lineman arm to come up to make it look like it was holding. So I was like, okay, like that's an understandable no call for someone that actually reads the rules. But
Which these
to
refs
the
should
play
have been
on,
doing.
yeah, they basically handed Kansas City the game. They
They
really
gave
did.
them an extra play in the
They
freaking
did.
game.
They
Like, I
third
don't
and
care
nine. What
what
was it? Third and nine.
it was 39. I don't care what they say about that one ref running onto the field. Okay, refs, get your crap together. Like, for real.
Yes.
Because you should not be messing up easy calls like this and then giving the home team another play. I know it had no effect into the game whatsoever, but it honestly kind of does have an effect. It
Mm-hmm.
makes one team extremely upset with the officiating, and then one team's extremely happy with it. And then, like, just say, for example, what if Kansas City did get a first down on that following play?
I mean, yeah, because they had the punt anyways, so it wasn't like it was like, oh, it's not that big of a deal, but yeah.
It's giving them a second chance. That's how I
Mm-hmm.
see it. And when like I feel like teams they should only have the shots that they are given. They should not get another chance when it comes to crap like that.
Agreed.
There were just a lot of really bad calls. The punt return leading into the final drive, block in the back. I
Oh
saw two
yes,
blocks in the
yeah,
back.
that was even worse. I was like, there's no way they're this oblivious, but I was
Like
proven wrong.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say that this stuff is all a script because I believe if the NFL was a script, the Bills would be the ones playing in the Super Bowl.
Well, maybe that was supposed to be a distraction because this is considered the Kelsey Bowl now, because Travis and Jason are going up against each other.
I don't think that's that important though. Like people are forgetting that there were other brothers who played against each other, the Harbaughs.
Well, yeah,
I
they're
I
the
know
first
they coached.
they're the first coaches that were brothers to be in a Super Bowl. But these are the first two brothers to play against each other in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, big W for the Kelsey family.
Yeah, I
And
saw
then you
Jason
can call
Kelsey.
it the
I saw Jason Kelsey's Twitter post after the Chiefs had won. It's like, I'm no longer a Kansas City fan.
Yeah, he said something like he was a fan of them for like 3 hours, and then once it is over, that
Yeah,
he wasn't. And then Andy Reid too. People are like they're calling it the Andy Reid Bowl
because it's his
because he's
former
playing his
team.
yeah. All that stuff like the
Yeah.
Bengals got screwed, and
You also got to think they ruled that one game against the Bills a no contest, so then you don't know what's going to play out because after that it's like, oh well, Kansas City's getting the first seed. There's no debate about for Buffalo or Cincinnati.
yeah, I found that to be extreme garbage as well. I mean, we both did.
Yeah.
We were talking about it like maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago already,
Mm-hmm.
and then I mean stuff like this happens too. I don't want to say it's a script. I love the NFL dearly, but the officials really need to figure out what is right and what is wrong. I don't want this to turn into something like baseball where you have a robot umpire.
Yeah,
I feel like that'd be really dumb. That's my
for
take.
sure. I guess that will wrap up with the AFC Championship game, but to the National Football Conference, the NFC Championship game, where, not gonna lie, for most of this game was pretty boring.
This was a bad game. I thought I thought that this game or the last game was bad with the officiating. This game is bad straight up.
Yeah. If you want to take it away down the 49ers sideline.
Oh, sure. For the San Francisco 49ers, who obviously lost this one 31-7, Josh Johnson went 7 for 13 with 74 yards. Brock Purdy went 4 for 4 with 23 yards. And Christian McCaffrey also played quarterback for one play. 0 for 1. Which, by the way, that was an intentional grounding. I don't know how they didn't call it an intentional grounding. Because there was no receiver in the vicinity. Which kind of brings me back to the last game.
Yep, I was gonna say he was like you're gonna bring up
There
that
was an
that
intentional grounding on Patrick Mahomes. Actually, okay,
it was
I
on
don't
Joe
think it was
Burrow.
really intentional grounding.
Yeah, but I know what you're saying. I
It's
think it wasn't.
stupid.
It was very. It was the Chiefs were handed them the win. Anyways,
Yeah.
continue.
I'll carry on here. So Christian McCaffrey led the team in rushing. He was the only one to really do anything. 15 carries, 84 yards, and a touchdown. W trade for the 49ers, by the way. Um, and then receiving Deebo Samuel, 3 receptions, 33 yards. George Kittle had 3 for 32, and McCaffrey had 4 for 22. And then on the defense, leading the team in tackles was Demondre Lenore with 6. Greenwall had 5, so did Armstead. Armstead had a sack in this one, and that's all the pressure that they could apply on Jalen Hurts. San Francisco's defense seemed like a mid-tier defense at best.
Yeah.
And then Robbie Gould didn't even do anything. So, yep.
Yep. On to Philadelphia sidelines. Jalen Hurts, 15 for 25, 121 yards. Kenneth Gainwell, 14 carries, 48 yards. Miles Sanders, 11 carries, 42 yards, and a pair of touchdowns. Jalen Hurts, 11 carries, 39 yards, and a touchdown. Boston Scott, okay. Boston Scott, 6 carries, 21 yards, and a touchdown. And I guess I didn't realize they put Gardner Minshew out there. He had 2
They
carries
did.
for -2 yards. I didn't even see that.
They put him in for like the last 4 minutes of the game, or
Oh.
3 minutes.
Uh,
It was like right after that
fight.
big fight.
Yeah, that was fun. Devontae Smith, two receptions for 36 yards. And that's really it. A.J. Brown, 4 receptions, 28 yards. Devontae Smith did not catch that ball. Completely could have turned everything. Anyways, for defense, Kaiser White, 4 tackles, leads the team. Hassan Reddick with 2 sacks. Javon Hargrave with a sack. There ain't no more to that. And Jake Elliott, 1 for 1 with a 31-yard field goal. I mean, what are your thoughts about this game? I thought it was a pretty interesting game. Obviously, the Niners are just super unfortunate with their quarterback situation.
Oh man, I felt bad for their quarterback situation. Like when Purdy got that injury, I was like, okay, this game is over. I did not have.
If Purdy doesn't get hurt, I think it's a completely different game.
I, I don't know. Like it. Yes, the game would have been a lot closer. I still think Philly would have won. I thought that Jalen Hurts, he did a lot with his legs. Um, and I think that was a really big key for the Eagles. And it going back to that Devonta Smith play, if he if they challenge it and they wouldn't have ruled it as a catch for sure. I don't know if that would have really had too much of an effect on the game. That's just my thoughts overall in this one though. I mean, it was a bad game. I did not care to watch it at all, really.
Yeah,
I
then
kind
there
of
was
stopped caring
the
about it in the third quarter.
there was a play where the Eagles punted the ball, and apparently they're saying that it hit the wire.
Oh yeah, I heard about that. Like it hit the sky cam.
It hit the sky
box.
cam wire, and then they're saying, "Oh, we need to repunt," and they couldn't. They couldn't neither confirm nor deny that it hit it. So it was like, okay, well, San Fran's ball is like at the 45-yard line. I guarantee there's going to be a rule now about that.
When was that in the game?
That was in the
'Cause
first quarter.
I only saw, so I didn't see the Purdy injury. I just heard about it. I actually went out to lunch with a few friends to Culver's or whatever at the time, and they had like a TV there, but they didn't have the football game on. I was like really confused.
Well, it's not
Um,
the Packers, so they're not going to turn it on.
but it's the NFC Championship game. Like
I
a
know.
lot of people are gonna be tuning in for it, but I did not see too much of this game. I only saw like the end of the second quarter and then the entire second half. And the fourth quarter was so boring. until about 3.5 or 4 minutes left of the game,
Trent
where
Williams body slams Wallace.
you see him like pick him up and
Jeez, it just annihilates him. I'm
he
like, oh,
obliterated him into the ground.
this is a whole 350 pounds taking on like a 190-pound safety.
I want to know what happened before that to lead up to that situation. Because
I
why
think
did
it was
Wallace
just
get ejected?
frustration. It was just, it was, it was like, I think Williams was so frustrated with the game. Like, even Greenlaw, like, was frustrated. Like, he got unnecessary roughness because,
Oh
like,
yeah, like
he was
punching the ball
punching the
multiple
ball
times.
multiple times, trying to make him fumble. I was like, okay, that's a BS call.
The reason they called it though is because he did it constantly after the whistle blew.
Oh, okay. Then,
That
yeah.
that's why they called that a penalty. If he would have stopped as the whistle blown, like it would have been completely fine. Like obviously he's doing the right thing. He's trying to do something for his defense.
Mm-hmm.
49ers were not going to win. He was just trying to do something to feel a little better. But then, I mean, for for Trayvon Williams to do that crap, I mean, not a good way to view a person who's a captain of your team
Yeah.
um to get ejected like that.
Yeah, that's really how it is going to go. But I guess the big news is that Brock Purdy with a UCL tear. He's going to be sidelined for 6 months.
There were sources that also said that he was viewing a second opinion to see if he needs surgery or not. I would advise him to get the surgery
Mm-hmm.
because it's the off season. You got good time to spend. But then like now leading with that now, you have these three 49ers quarterbacks who could go to different places. I don't know what the 49ers next move is going to be, which leads us to our next piece of the news. What is the future of Jimmy Garoppolo, Brock Purdy? I guess those two
Trey
guys.
Lance.
I think Trey Lance is staying.
I don't think he is.
Where do you think he's going to go then?
You got to trade him somewhere. I mean, Green Bay's looking for a quarterback. I mean, Baltimore's
Oh,
looking for a
yeah.
quarterback.
I
Tampa's
forgot to
looking.
add the Aaron Rodgers stuff in the
Yeah,
news.
Tampa's looking for a quarterback. Like, there's
Not,
places that he can
not
go.
yet. I don't know. Like, I don't know what the best identity would be for him.
I think he's sick with Purdy. I mean, this is Lance's second time getting injured already in his 3 years.
What was his first injury?
I think it was like a knee or an ankle injury
Oh,
as well. It was like an
jeez.
ACL or something. But yeah, I mean, Jimmy G, I think, is completely gone from the system. I think they trade him away.
That's what they wanted to do for like the last year or so, right?
Yeah.
They wanted to be done with him. They didn't do anything with it, and like it set the 49ers up really well though, but that's got to be mainly behind Kyle Shanahan and the way that he coaches his team
Mm-hmm.
because he just seems like a genius when he's coaching, and he always wears the flat bill hats, which I'm a huge fan of. It's a nice style for
Yeah.
coaching.
And then I think what really happened was that this game could have gone a lot differently if they actually didn't put Purdy back out. Instead, they had like McCaffrey or Debo at quarterback, and they just.
McCaffrey was quarterback of that one play that I
I'm saying
talked
that they
about.
should have they should have had him like be quarterback for the whole game after Johnson got concussed. Because like
I didn't even
okay,
see him get that
oh
concussion.
yeah, his head bounced right off the turf.
Yikes.
Yeah, and so I'm just like, well, Purdy can't throw. I think he threw one pass in the whole entire second half when he came back. And I think it's stupid that it's like, okay, the defense is always expecting run now because Purdy's like in pain. He can't throw the ball. So it's like, oh, well, he's just going to keep on running, so we'll just do run defense. I think
Yeah.
they said like Kyle Juszczyk was like the emergency quarterback. I'm just like, it's a big boy for a quarterback, but I still think he should put at least some quarterback history back there to give yourself a lit fighting chance instead of just basically giving up, because that's how I saw it.
So you thought the 49ers just gave up in
Yeah,
this game once that concussion happened?
After Josh Johnson got concussed, they threw in the towel. They was like, yeah, we're not winning. We don't have
See,
a quarterback.
what the 49ers could have been doing is the good old Christian McCaffrey check down passes or Deebo Samuel check down passes. So
Yeah.
like just run like those quick screens, which I mean I feel like that's most of the identity of San Francisco. Like they like to run those little short screenplays and then they use their blockers to open up the field and the talent of these guys like McCaffrey and Deebo Samuel to
Mm-hmm.
just like elude themselves down the football field and score a touchdown. But we only saw that one rushing touchdown from McCaffrey, which was a really good rushing
It
touchdown.
was. That was a beautiful rushing touchdown.
Yeah, he had like 4 or 5 guys try to tackle him and he dodged all of them or he
Yeah, he
shook all of them off of him. It was pretty nuts.
hurdled one, trucked over two. It was insane. But I
But
think
you
enough.
gotta feel for
Yeah,
San Fran.
I really wanted to go to the Super Bowl. I think they had everything in line for them. Just an unfortunate injury that really cost them.
I was feeling
So
good about Philly all the way through.
yeah.
We'll move
So
on.
what championship game loser is was you think was more likely to make the Super Bowl? For me, it's
Next year's
Cincinnati.
Super Bowl.
Oh yeah, yeah. Next year's Super Bowl, so way too early predictions or like just all of these four teams.
Out of the teams that lost in the two teams that lost in the conference championship, so the 49ers or Cincinnati, like who are you more likely to see in the Super Bowl?
Cincinnati, because they don't have to pay anyone yet. They don't have to pay Burrow. They don't have to pay Higgins. They don't have to pay Chase until another year. Thanks to the 2024-25 season, they have to pay them.
That's a really good point that you brought up with like keeping players and like not losing
Because
guys to free agency.
I don't know how you're gonna pay Burrow and Chase and Higgins. You have to give up one of them. I feel like it's gonna be Higgins.
It's really interesting to talk about that. Joe Burrow, honestly, he seems like the guy who's gonna take that pay cut. I don't know. I don't know if Chase would be that guy who would do that either, but I could see Joe Burrow taking a pay cut because he said he wants to like keep his entire career in Cincinnati because he's got that window. That's what he said. But I agree with you. I think the Bengals are more likely to make it. And the funny thing is, both of these losers, they made it to last year's championship games as well. When the 49ers was very unexpected, and then this year is kind of a little expected, same with Cincinnati,
Yeah,
but everyone threw Cincinnati under the radar. I don't know why.
because
I
of
think
they
it,
started 1-3. That's
I
why.
think it, I thought the big reason they're thrown under the radar, even before that, is just because everyone's a big Kansas City Chiefs fan as well as Buffalo Bills fan. Everyone's like, "Oh, we're gonna see the Bills and the Chiefs in a huge AFC Championship game," which we could have saw. Thankfully, we didn't. But I would also pick Cincinnati. Joe Burrow, to me, he's a better quarterback than Josh Allen is. And then
Yeah,
Mahomes, I think he's going to catch up to him. Burrow is going to win his first Super Bowl within the next 3 years. So I could
I
maybe
agree
see
with that.
Cincinnati making the Super Bowl next year. I really could.
I can see
And it
Cincinnati going back to it as well.
and then it almost seems like this Cincinnati and Kansas City matchup could be the next like
Manning and
Manning Brady
Brady.
rivalry. Nailed it right on the head.
Yeah.
So I would pick Cincy.
Mm-hmm. So with that being said, coaching jobs around the NFL around like an hour ago. Words got in that Sean Payton is the official head coach of the Denver Broncos. So they traded up for him. They gave him this year's first round pick, a second round pick this year, and a second round pick for next year's draft.
Why did they have to give up
Because I think he
people?
was,
Sean Payton didn't have a job.
I think because he was so under contract though.
So he just like
He
did he
retired.
quit?
He
Oh.
retired, but he was still under contract. So like
I
that's why they had to talk to the Saints about like getting him.
I thought that if you retired under contract, like I know that you
They
have the
still have
option
to
to come
pay.
back because that's what Brady did.
Well,
And
yeah,
then
but then they still have to pay
wouldn't
you even though you're retired.
yeah, wouldn't
So
they
you're
just have to
still
pay you your
technically a
money and then you're
part.
done?
Yeah, but he was still under contract. He had like 2 more years, I think.
Okay. That makes a little more sense why there were people giving up. I didn't know that it was because he retired. I thought he
Mm-hmm.
just like quit his job
No, he
to go
retired.
work with Fox. That makes a lot more sense.
Gronkowski to Fox NFL.
Gronk has such a great media personality, so like I I would not be surprised if this guy stays working with Fox or whatever. Like he's gonna have a Super Bowl party, I think, in Arizona.
Yeah, because he went to ASU. Oh no, just AU, just Arizona
Yeah,
University or Arizona State.
but then since he works with Fox, they have the Super Bowl. I believe it's on Fox this year.
It is on Fox, so we get a new scoring logo.
I'm kind of hyped about that. Like that's one thing that really hypes me up about the Super Bowl.
Is that
Like
they changed like their
the
design for like
graphic
the
design.
graphic for like the scoring. Like I remember last year with NBC, I was like, whoa, this is nice.
I thought their scoreboards were super sick. And
I
then like
saw the new one from Fox where it used to be like the team's name and their color. It was just said Vikings and it was like purple and white. And then it went to the what is currently now. It shows like the little rectangle in the logo. I like that. That's pretty cool. But I'm excited to see what that is.
did you see the one that CBS did when it was the Chiefs and the Buccaneers? It was it was so boring. It was
That's what they
literally
have
like
now.
the same exact thing that they have right now.
No,
And
they've had that since
they've had
New
that one for
England
a
since
while.
L.A. New England and L.A.
Yeah. I was like, why did they not change this up? And then like the year prior, that was when Fox did like the cartoonish, like comic book looking
Yep.
people, which I thought that was freaking cool to do. And they also changed up their scoreboard at
Mm-hmm.
that time as well. But yeah, I'm on board with you. Like the graphics design is honestly one of the more exciting
It's one of
small
the things that
details
I look
into the
forward
game.
to.
Same.
But for me right now, I think the thing that I'm looking forward most to for the Super Bowl is probably the commercials and the graphic design.
Oh yeah.
Because
A
at
lot
this
of
point,
people tune in for commercials.
I do not care who wins because I evenly dislike both teams.
Well, I kind of do care who wins because Ben and I have our little Super Bowl bet where
Oh,
we.
oh yeah, you were gonna say that. You're gonna say who you want to win. You want to go over that right now?
I kind of want to go over that leading up into
All right,
the
that's fair.
game. I think that's going to be a lot more exciting. But Ben knows who I picked to win the game. Um, I'm not going to tell anybody else who I'm picking. I'm sure people might have an idea of
I
who
feel
I'm
like
going to
it's
pick.
Kansas. I feel like it's Philadelphia.
I'm not going to disclose who I'm picking. Like,
I'm saying it's Philly because you're a Green Bay Packers fan. They have the color green, and so you're rooting for the only green team that is left in the playoffs, and that is the Philadelphia Eagles.
I'll do something. I like your thinking. I'll do something interesting in these next few episodes where like I'm gonna hint who I'm picking
Oh, I'm gonna be
with the
all over
stuff that
that. I'm gonna be all
that
over
I
that.
have in my room. I think that's gonna be super fun to do. But um on the next piece of news or
Well,
the
we still
agenda,
have uh, Demeco Ryans is to Houston, the San Francisco's defensive coordinator, I do believe.
holy crap, there are a lot of coaches who
Yeah. So yeah, Demeco Ryans goes to Houston after less than 48 hours of not being done with his season. He gets hired as Houston's next head coach. See how that plays out.
always leads to
And then
failure, it seems
within
like.
18 hours of being fired from Kellen Moore, he is now with the LA Chargers as their offensive coordinator. Literally, Dallas fired him. 18 hours later, he is with the Los Angeles Chargers.
Dallas ended up firing the guy.
They fired Dallas. They fired Kellen Moore, yeah.
Why the fudge would they do that?
Because it's Dallas.
It's Dak Prescott. That's what it is. I've been saying all freaking year that Dak
Well, when you
Prescott
call a
is the
play,
reason the
okay, when your
Cowboys.
season's on the line, it's the last play of the game. You go
Wait,
a
did you
nine
watch?
wide, and you have Zeke under center. What the hell do you think's going to happen?
Well, yeah. Did you see? I saw this really funny video
Oh,
that was like, it was a Make-A-Wish kid
yes, I know what you're talking
talking
about. It's like,
talking
oh,
to
I want you to
the
use
Dallas
this.
Cowboys.
I want you to use this at some point. It's like, oh yeah, we promise
We
we'll
haven't
do this.
used our play at all this season. We're gonna
Yeah,
have to use it here because the season might be over.
yeah, it's just like, oh yeah, we'll throw it into like one of our preseason games or one of our very first games of the week. It was like game time decision. Like, what do you gotta call out? It's like, coach, we have the play. What do you mean the play? You know the kid from Make a Wish Foundation. We promised him to use this play this season, and this is looking like the last play of the year. So I think we may have to throw it out there. Screw it, timeout. And then they run in. They absolutely gets obliterated.
Where do you think you would rank that play in the worst plays of all time?
Uh,
Like, do you think that play was worse than the butt fumble? Do you think that play was worse
nah,
than
the butt fumble
the
was just super unfortunate.
nah, the butt fumble was pretty bad. Let's be real. Mark Sanchez ran into the guy's bum and dropped the football. And then the Patriots took it for a touchdown. Dude, every time I see that play, I start laughing. And then on the ESPN Not Top Plays, that was like the all-time number one in Not Top Plays ever for so long that they had to take it down.
The one of the worst plays where the Colts lined up. It was like 4th and 5.
That is the other play I was gonna go to. Pat
That's
McAfee talks about it a lot.
far by far the worst one. That's worse. If it's that, it would be the Pat McAfee punter sneak on 4th and 5, where you have two defenders on each side of the center. Then it would be the butt
Yup.
fumble, and then it would probably be that play.
I like that
Actually, no, no,
one.
no, no, no. Butt fumble. No, not butt fumble. Punter sneak, butt fumble. Blair Walsh, wide right, 2015 wild card
You
playoff.
can't say that's like worst play of all time, dude. I would
It's
say
a
the Ohio.
27-yard field goal from the 3.
I would say the Ohio State kick was much worse than that.
That was what, 47 yards?
It was horrible though.
I've seen
It was
some
even
NFL
remotely
kickers. I've seen some
close.
NFL kickers kick worse than that, aka Blair Walsh, and he was just whoops. Let me just throw this game away. We'll lose 10-9 against the Seattle Seahawks.
Oh man, that Madden meme of like
Oh yeah,
going in to kick the game winner and the ball just goes directly to the
it was like
left.
I remember after we watched that, we pulled up Instagram. We were just like, oh look, it's like oh the Ohio State kicker is like Blair Walsh with like that meme template where it's like all the way to the left from like Madden 15.
Yo,
Yeah.
gosh.
Jeez.
For me, on my worst plays of all, butt fumbles number one.
I can respect it, but I think the punter sneak is by far the worst.
Bro, how do you drop a football running into somebody's straight bum? How do you do that?
Because they have an absolute fatty of a dump truck.
I don't care how big the dump truck is. Like, how do you drop the ball? And then you don't just
It must
drop
be
the ball.
solid.
You don't just drop the ball. The other team goes on
Scoops
to
and
pick
scores.
up the ball and score a touchdown. A little scoopy from the ice cream truck, you know?
Oh, don't you know they're a? Yeah.
But then I feel like another play you could put on this list also came from this year was the Patriots and Raiders last play of the game.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Oh gosh, that's probably like number 5 or number 6.
I'm still waiting for that one NFL ad where you know how they were doing the commentary for the Miracle in Miami and it's like unbelievable plays.
Oh yeah,
I'm
from the
waiting for them.
NFL, like with the
I'm waiting
tablets.
for them to show that one, except it's gonna be that other play.
I'm waiting for them to do the Minneapolis Miracle with that one, but I don't think
I'm
they're
surprised
gonna.
they haven't done that yet.
I think I know why, because that's an ad only on CBS, and that game was broadcasted on Fox, so I think that's why.
They only show that ad on CBS.
I think so.
I never heard of that.
I don't know. I might be completely wrong. I'm wrong about a lot of things.
Yeah, I thought it was like a national type ad, like the BK Whopper, the BK
Whopper,
ads.
Whopper, 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 Junior, Double, Triple, Whopper, Grill Steak, so fire. That's a sign.
I rule this day.
BK, have it your way. We rule.
You rule.
All right. Anyways, new Pro Bowl quarterbacks are being replaced. 2 in the AFC and 1 in the NFC. So, I suppose let's get right to it with the AFC.
The AFC quarterbacks who are going to be playing in the Pro Bowl this year are Derek Carr,
He
Tyler
replaces Patrick Mahomes.
Oh yeah, and yeah, they're replacements as well. So Derek Carr, he replaces Patrick Mahomes. Tyler Huntley, I believe he's replacing Josh Allen.
Yep, he's replacing Josh Allen. I think
And then
Burrow's in it still.
the other one would be Joe Burrow. Yes. And then for the NFC, Jared Goff, he is going to be replacing Jalen Hurts because the players who play in the Super Bowl, they don't play in the Pro Bowl. Are they even there for the festivities of the Pro Bowl? Or are they like getting themselves prepared?
They're not even there.
And the Pro Bowl this year is going to be, I don't know what to think of it, to be honest with you.
I'm going to have to watch it, see how it goes.
If it's a freaking entertaining like football game, like maybe this will be the revival of the Pro Bowl.
I like the games leading up to it.
Yeah.
Like, you have the spectacular catch where you, like, jump on trampolines, like, do ridiculous catches.
I like the dodgeball event. Between the wide receivers. It's so good.
I remember it was, like, Graham Gano and Justin Tucker. They had, like, a tic-tac-toe. That was so much fun to watch.
They need to bring that one back, too.
I thought the quarterback
accuracy passing was funny.
Yeah. There's a lot. I like the games leading up to it.
I think the games are much better than the actual event itself. Yeah. And I know before I said, like, this might feel like Madden all over again when COVID was going on, where all the players just got together and played Madden. But then, like, when they all played Madden, no one said anything into their microphones. It was just, like, them playing a game. And honestly, nobody really cared for it or cared to watch. And I was one of those people who didn't care. But I agree with you that the games leading up to it are going to be the main focus. But then who are the other 2 NFC quarterbacks? I know
Kirk Cousins, Jared Goff, and
Geno Smith?
Geno Smith, yes.
Yeah.
So I think Kirk Cousins is going to be the starter.
why does it even matter who plays quarterback?
I don't
For
know.
flag football, like literally
Watch
any
Kirk
player
Cousins goes
play.
off for like 500 yards, 60 for 78, and 10 passing touchdowns.
Did you see how they made the football field
Yeah, it's like only like
for it?
40 yards wide or long or something. It's like
Yeah.
10, 20, 30, midfield's 40, then 30, 20, 10.
It's gonna look like arena football or something. And
Yeah,
I don't know how the attendance of that's gonna go either. To
neither
me,
do
it seems
I.
like it's gonna be very low.
Yeah, I think it's going to be low too. Because it used to be, oh, these like players, like when Sean Taylor was in it, oh boy, he did not hold back.
I loved that time of the Pro Bowl
I
when all
remember
the
when
players just went.
I remember in 2015, it was like kind of like the transition where they like didn't really play anymore. But it was when they oh shit.
I think somebody just died.
Yep. I remember when they like it was like they picked teams, so it was like AFC could be lined up with NFC players. So it was like, all
Oh
right,
yeah.
yeah, that was like my favorite. But yeah, now my apartment people are back, and I don't want to record Weddle here because they're just gonna screw me up.
Well, that I mean that makes
See,
a slight bit of
you
sense.
have
Yeah.
you have respectable people in your apartment. I do not. Some of them are super respectful, but most of them are not.
Just gotta like respect. Appreciate respect.
Yep, respect is
RESPCET.
earned. Respect is earned, not given.
Yes.
But I
And well
think
said.
yes. Anyways, I think that'll do it for episode 22 of Down on the episode 21 because we had a failed episode.
Wait, I thought it was a 21 the one 2 times ago. So maybe 22.
It is. This is 21. Actually, no. This
Oh.
is 22.
I thought it was
Hold
22.
on. Let me go to our YouTube channel.
I don't know about you.
I'm
I'm
feeling
feeling
22.
22.
Ooh, I know about you.
Shout out to the
I'm feeling
Swifties.
22.
Dot Squad giving a shout out to the Swifties.
All right. Well, I'm just gonna say it's episode 2022. We'll wrap things up here on
Actually, we're in 2023, Matt.
Okay, whatever. Wrapping up here on the downside. You're screwing me up
Wait,
here.
I got you. Wrapping it up here on the Dots podcast, here on the away sideline, is Brenden Retzloff, a.k.a. Bretts.golf, and we'll throw it over to the home sideline.
All right, caught the pass. And signing out here on the home sideline at Lakeland University is Matt Crowley, a.k.a. Matty Icy, and we will see you in our next episode. Stay safe, y'all.
See you guys later.